Hello and welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 8th January 2019. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Virtual Peddlers Marketing, the digital marketing agency that helps small businesses go digital. My name is Sean.
And I'm JK.
This week, Facebook took down ads in Britain against building mosques. China censors Twitter the old school way. Jake Paul turns Bird Box Challenge into a new social hazard. What's new? And we have weekly tips. Weekly tips are Facebook's best practices in 2019, extracted from BuzzSumo.
Yep.
So back to our topics. It's quite a quiet week after the New Year's.
Everybody's having postmortem.
every
Long week called postmortem.
post-New Year postmortem.
Yeah.
Facebook took down ads in Britain against building of mosque. There was a petition circulated by a political group called Britain First to stop a mosque from being built in Maidstone, Kent, which was initially approved by Facebook's computers, the naming Facebook's algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
Even when a user lodged a complaint against the ad, Facebook's standard reply popped up saying it did not go against one of our community standards.
All right.
It wasn't until BBC reached out to Facebook when they immediately changed their minds and took down the 3 ads. That was actually petitioning against building a mosque in Kent. On top of Facebook thanking BBC for notifying them, they went on to say, "We thank BBC for bringing the page Political Gamers TV to our attention, which violated our policies and has now been removed."
Wow. So when A says remove, cannot.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
So-
when BBC says so, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it actually also went on to say that we encourage all our users to report these things to us.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone unknown, like just another user, lodge a report, Facebook won't even blink an eye
We even
on
bother.
it. Yeah, don't even bother. But once BBC brings it up, and then they're like, "Oh, damn, BBC, so let's pay attention. Let's have a look at it."
Yeah, before BBC is like, Facebook did not took down ads in Britain against
Yeah,
building a
yeah,
mosque.
right?
Then the whole shit thing happened.
Yeah. So
It's a PR thing lah.
So I think, we all know this. Facebook has a bunch of has a very high number of these computers that stand between us and the real people working in Facebook.
Yep.
That whenever we lodge any complaint, we bring up any issue at all on Facebook, nobody cares.
Well, I guess that's the
No, but-
social media platform that we use.
It's the whole automation thing, right?
Yeah.
That we want to speak to a human being, but
in the end, it's all just FAQ and
it's just FAQ.
CTAs.
and if they don't know how to answer your question, they will not reply
Yeah.
you at all.
Just keep it no response.
Yeah, just no response.
No connections. Oh well, that is the cons of AI.
Yep.
So never mind. Moving on to China. So China censors Twitter the old school way. A China software engineer had his office in Hong Kong visited by state security officials, handing him a piece of paper. In the paper were 60 tweets about US-China trade relations that the engineer posted on his Twitter account, which he was demanded to delete. The engineer did not comply, and 24 hours later, he found out that someone hacked his Twitter account and wiped all his 11,000 tweet history. Wow. So, Twitter, Facebook, Google, YouTube, and Instagram are all banned in China, but a small number of users can still access them using VPN to bypass the China's firewall. Instead of clamping down further, the government usually prefer to quietly monitor the conversation that happens in those platforms.
I
So
seriously
they can
don't
control.
Yeah, I seriously don't want. Well, the reason why they they know that using a simple VPN can bypass the Chinese firewall, right? And they know that they can actually stop that from happening, but they let the Chinese do that anyway, so that they can monitor and see what is it that the Chinese people are saying and sharing and posting on their social media.
Okay.
It's kind of putting a short leash out and seeing what people do.
Correct.
And so happened this guy who actually lives in Hong Kong, by the way, right? Who initially never had this same kind of restrictions and regulations like what is happening now.
Mm-hmm.
so the Chinese state official guys just waltz into his office, knocked on his door, and says, "Please delete these 60 tweets about U.S.-China relation." And when he refused to do that, the next day he just found all his tweets gone, missing, just like that.
But you mean they personally hacked into his account lah? So
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
Oh.
Someone hacked into his account lah, but we would have assumed that it's most probably the same officials, because
Yeah,
just
no.
the day before he was asked to delete these
It should
60
be the
tweets,
same.
right?
So it's too convenient to happen really.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
the same time. Wow, if this happened in Malaysia, die lor. Imagine the religion of people knock to your door. Please delete all your pictures. Very haram.
Yeah.
You don't apply to it, they will just delete all your haram pictures.
Delete all for you.
Yeah. Then you're like,
But yeah, it goes to show that China is not exactly as open as they say they are. I think
I think they just want to
um,
control things lah.
Yeah,
Because
I think,
it's quite a sensitive topic, the US and China trade relation.
yeah, but if you want to if you want to be all democratic about it, you need to be able to accept that not everybody will agree to what you say.
Correct.
And
You think China is a democratic country, man?
well, they claim they are in a way a democratic country.
Which part? By doing that, no.
The part where they joined the World Trade Organization many years ago.
That's just joining.
Yeah.
It didn't serve anything. The action still speaks louder.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Jake Paul turns Bird Box challenge into a new social hazard. Jake Paul, what is new? YouTuber Jake Paul recently posted his version of the 24-hour Bird Box challenge. For those who don't know, the Bird Box challenge is inspired by the recently famous Netflix movie starring Sandra Bullock. In the movie, everyone had to blindfold themselves in the open to prevent being possessed by an alien being. In Jake's challenge, they were seen driving, jaywalking, and walking into a pond in a park, all blindfolded.
Aiyo.
It was scary because there was this scene where he was literally driving blindfolded, nearly hit stuff, and then the videographer took over and said, "Okay, this is not right. I will drive. You guys just sit in the car." And then there was a scene of him crossing a 4-lane highway in Los Angeles, completely blindfolded, and cars were just screeching around and honking everywhere.
People just do things for likes.
Yeah, and there was also a scene of him just walking into a pond in a park. So
Okay lah.
Well,
it doesn't harm anyone, but
let's say, for
car-
example, if that guy don't know how to swim, if that person does not know how to swim.
But he is responsible himself, no?
Yeah, but the thing is that he is causing harm, and as we know how social media works, is that people do things, people do stupid things.
Correct.
Right? Like just last year, exactly a year ago, the internet went suicidal over another stupid challenge by eating Tide Pods.
What's a type of
Tide Pod is actually a little like a thing that looks like a hockey puck, but it's actually a detergent.
Okay.
Okay, people actually ate those stuff and they got admitted into hospital eating these things. It's a challenge. Means they know the danger of it, but yet they still go and do it
I
anyway.
guess it's a teenage kind of
Yeah.
risk. Only teenager who kind of do this kind of thing.
Exactly.
Like adult people who is matured already, usually they don't really bother much.
Yeah,
Or at
but-
least they'll play, but they will know how to play in a safer side.
But if everyone is doing this right, we will end up with a generation where there are only a very few teenagers alive to
Never
take
mind,
over
at
from
least,
us.
at least the teenager alive is a smart one.
The smart one, right? Yeah,
And
yeah.
will make the world a better place, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
the challenges, but
And and there was another one, the what is this called? The in my feeling, was it?
Which one?
The one where they walk out of the car and like
the key.
the one that they
yeah,
dance,
yeah,
the
yeah.
one next to the car when the car
The
is
song
moving.
thing.
So many people got hit by cars and everything because
So
they
high,
do
no?
this.
Never mind.
Seriously.
The world know how to clean and cleanse and detox, rubbish. So in a way, it's a good thing.
Yeah, true. So this video directly violates YouTube's community guidelines, stating that promoting dangerous activities is prohibited on the platform. As of this morning, I checked the video. The video is still available, so we don't know when is YouTube going to act on this.
There's a very fine line between dangerous though. It's like, okay, if Jake Paul's like like driving in the middle of the highway, that one should be taken down.
Yeah.
But if it's normal one, it's that's
There are actually a lot of scenes which are quite okay. Like he walks into a restaurant, he eats, he sits down blindfolded. In a way, it's good because it kind of gives people the perception of like it lets you live as a blind person for
Correct.
one day. The troubles of it, how dangerous
hard
it is
is
for
it?
you as a blind person, going around town. Something that we all take for granted because we can see, right?
Yep.
But the three elements that really, really cause danger that stupid teenagers will do the same because they're not smart enough to think that it's dangerous is driving, crossing the street, and falling into a pond. Imagine if it was a lake in Putrajaya and it was like 5 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet deep. Yeah.
I'm like
That would have been quite a dangerous thing, right? So yeah, and even the people at Netflix came out to warn everyone against taking up on this challenge, saying that
just be aware.
dangerous and all that kind of stuff, everything like that.
Well, I guess if you have one extremist on one hand, then you have another extremist that will come on the other end, right? And things will balance off one lah. YouTube don't have to do anything.
I think they will do what they need to do just to protect themselves.
Correct. Yeah.
Don't really care about anybody else.
It's like
Just
you're
want to protect
the
themselves.
anti-bird box challenge. Please come out now.
Yeah. And they're like, ayo my god, you're so stupid, you all go kill yourself. As long as I don't get into trouble,
Yeah.
you
As
know,
long as
because
people
you kill yourself.
constantly using my platform to see things,
Yeah,
and
then can
you
already.
you
I'm
both
fine.
can fight, okay? Just as long
Yeah.
as both of you use my platform.
Yeah.
Thank you for subscribing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep,
let's move.
that's all the news we have for this week. We did say there was going to be a short week.
Yep.
We do have our weekly tips. We haven't come up with a nice name for the weekly tips yet. We probably come up with some social media tips thing. But at the moment, it's just weekly tips. And this week, Facebook best practices in 2019, with the data extracted from BuzzSumo. These are the best practices, as in like when is the best time to post, what to post, and how to post something on Facebook in order to get the most engagement from people.
Yep.
Number one, videos are the best performing content.
Yep. True story.
Yep, true story. We vouch for this. With an average of over 500 engagement per post, compared to questions and image posts at less than 400, which is 100 less than videos. Giveaways, which is like giving like free stuff and everything like that,
Yep.
which is at around 200 engagement per post. Links and coupons, links being sharing other people's content, sharing other people's stuff, and coupons being like giving out free coupons to do something else with it. At the very least, maybe even going below 100 engagements.
The algorithm itself will adjust or what?
The algorithm adjusts in a sense that because Facebook has always been pushing for videos, right? Number one. So people will be able to see more videos than images and giveaways and links and coupons.
Correct.
And even questions. Number two is because videos are more interactive, people have stand a higher chance of actually consuming the videos. So videos here also includes those stop motion stuff that you do for your client, the
GIFs lah.
the GIFs and
GIF
things
is
that
the in thing now.
yeah, things that they appear and disappear. Very short, very simple, but flashy enough to catch people's attention.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because I think as long as your visual is moving, that's what it's going to right now. So this is actually another tip for all the social media marketers, like start grooming your video editing skills really.
Yes.
2D is dead.
Yeah. Like static images is dead.
Yeah.
And animated images don't need to be very bombastically done. They don't have to
don't
have
need
After
Transformer-like.
Effects and Transformer stuff.
Just simple
You don't
one
have
will
to
do.
After Effects the whole thing. You just keep it simple. A few frames to it to flash. That'll work fine.
As long as it moves.
Yep.
Simple movement.
As long as it
will do.
moves. Yeah.
So now the third one will be working hours.
Second.
Oh, sorry. Second one we mentioned or haven't yet?
Yeah. Well.
Okay, so second one, optimal video length is between 180 to 200 seconds. That is about 3 minutes long, with an average of 2,000 engagement. Any more or less, and the engagement drops by half. So this one,
It's quite interesting, right? It's like okay, so this is how much attention is put on Facebook videos. Although Facebook videos have the highest performing content, but Facebook marks their first impression mark, which is at 3 seconds. Meaning, as long as your videos pass 3 seconds, you have your first check for reach.
Yep.
Which goes to show how little attention people pay on Facebook videos.
Yeah.
Even saying that Facebook videos are the best performing content ever. So a 3 minute long video is already a full length like movie already.
Correct.
So if
Trailer.
you have it's like a full trailer kind of thing. So imagine if you would have like a motion picture style where you have like fading entrance in the beginning and a fading exit at the end. No. If your intro spans anything more than 5 seconds, nobody's gonna watch that stuff.
Yep. You capture fast.
Yeah, you need to be fast. Last week we talked about a miniskirt being long enough to cover the subject but short enough that it's interesting. So it needs to be about 3 minutes long, between 2.5 to 3 minutes long. And the stats from BuzzSumo here says that average engagement of 2,000 with that length. Any more or less based on that graph, it actually drops by about half. So we can start with creating 3 minute long videos. The third one, working hours are the best time to post. You'll be surprised from all the stats that we get. It proves that while this number is localized to Malaysia, there are other places that sees engagement increasing on weekends and weeknights rather than working hours. But in Malaysia, we are most active on Facebook during work hours and on weekdays.
Correct.
As a business owner, I am very worried about how Malaysians' productivity is, because we are supposed to be working that 8 hours and the number of hours, and we spend about 9 hours on average on Facebook per day.
Actually,
that is
Malaysia is like the highest.
It's one of the highest.
Surprisingly.
Yes, one of the highest in the world. Malaysians spend about 9 hours per day on Facebook, and of those 9 hours, 8 hours probably is in the working hours.
Or at least half.
Yeah. So if Malaysians want to complain that their work-life balance is bad, seriously, we really should.
Maybe that's how they balance their work-life balance. Since OT is a must already, might as well balance out every hour during your work.
We really should reevaluate how
Malaysia
well we have
focus
it,
on things like
exactly.
It's like, we have people, working in one computer and then the other computer is like Facebooking.
Yeah.
Or RO.
Or RO or some other games.
Yeah. Alright, weekdays are better than weekends. This one we mentioned? This one you briefly touched through.
Yeah, we briefly touched through, but we just want to...
So this is one of the fourth point that's one of the strong point as well. Weekdays are better than weekends. For better or worse, weekends usually see a significant dip in Facebook engagement and reach compared to weekdays. So this one, not very sure though.
Monday to Friday, like we said, during work hours, Monday to Friday has the highest engagement. So when you're supposed to be working, you're actually on Facebook.
Correct.
That is the worst part. For better, for the better part, the pro of it is that I think we can say that Malaysians know how to switch off Facebook and be with their family on weekends.
Well, because it's like I've done enough work and social media.
The whole weekday.
Okay, enough detox.
And so Saturday and Sunday will be for you to detox and actually be
really engaging
in the now with your family rather than getting lost in social media and other people's lives. So yes, so the two tips here is, if you want to post, you have to post it on weekdays, right, and during working hours, and don't post anything on weekends unless, for example, if you have tested it and you find that for your industry and your company and your target audience, weekend works better or weeknights work better than weekdays. The general rule of thumb is to start on weekdays from in the daytime and stay away from weekends.
Yep, correct.
And the final one is that short posts perform better.
Oh, please.
At least if you have a post with less than 50 characters, right? We'll see an average of almost 400 engagement. Between 50 to 100, it will drop to 250 engagement. And the longer your copy, the worse it performs, all the way down to less than 100.
Yep.
So although Facebook allows you to type a lot of stuff compared to Instagram, the rule of thumb is to stay below 50 characters or stay around the vicinity of 50 characters.
By characters mean alphabet, right?
Yeah, not words, alphabets and space and semicolons and full stops.
GG.com.
Altogether 50.
All the people that hashtag.
Yeah.
Aiyo.
Well, hashtags are not included because, well, Facebook don't really use hashtag that well. Hashtag is kind of like an Instagram game, but because Facebook has its own search engine.
Correct.
But beyond that one, the content itself should be around 50 characters. 50 characters is actually less than a Twitter post.
Yeah.
Just as long as it doesn't have that read more thing, that's the best rule of thumb.
Correct. But
Yeah.
all these things, okay, if let's just say, okay, how would you advise how would you advise customers or clients who actually wants to have dual language in one post? That is very
Dual language in one post is a bit difficult to handle.
Yeah, because
Then
What can you do with 35 words?
then you already have more. Let's say even if it's 50 characters per language, you already have 100 characters, right?
Yeah.
But this is a legacy problem with Facebook because there are a lot of people who are, for example, Malay speaking crowd, but when they joined Facebook, they did not set it to Malay language, so it was set to English, right? Then all the Facebook consumption is in English
in general.
So, and then only after that, I think about last year or so, Facebook created this dual language function where you can switch between languages. So
Or
you
C
can have
translation lah.
C translation as well. You can have a 50 characters for English and 50 characters for Malay set up on both sides. So depending on the user and which language they set to use Facebook in, if they use it in Malay, they will see the Malay version. If they use it in English, they will see the English version. But like we said, many people who have been using Facebook for a long time set by default to English and did not know how to set to Malay. So they will only see the English one and the Malay one. Yeah, and they can't see the Malay one. So a lot of people, what they do is they will just stack their dual language one after the other. So it comes down in the same copy, which makes the post longer.
Quite cluttered lah, I would
Yes,
say.
becomes very
So-
cluttered and very messy. But the problem is that it's not very difficult to change the settings in Facebook because Facebook don't know how to create the whole tree for settings. It's always in one corner, something in the far corner of Facebook that nobody knows how to get to.
Yeah, it's like where is it?
Yeah, and the worst thing is it is so unintuitive that even if you found it the first time, 1 week
have
later
forgotten it.
you will not know how to find it again.
I remember I did it somewhere, but
Yeah,
where?
so it is that difficult to use Facebook settings.
It's not Facebook. It's not user friendly.
It's not user friendly at all. So just to sum it up, Facebook best practices for 2019. Number 1, videos are the best performing content. Number 2, optimal video length is between 180 to 200 seconds. Number 3, working hours are the best time to post. Number 4, weekdays are better than weekends.
Yep.
And number 5, short posts perform better. 50 characters, that is where your benchmark is. All right, so that's all for Social Media Weekly episode 8th January 2019. Social Media Weekly podcast is available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube, and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. That is all. My name is Sean.
And I'm JK.
Au revoir.
Sayonara.